Hello, Leo, and welcome to April. I just realized with my other signs prior to Leo, I've been saying March. Ugh, I'm going to have to try and go back and correct that. Anyway, welcome to April. On March 29th, the month starts off with the concentration of energy and focus on your lucky Aries 9th house and the mysterious 8th Pisces house. Neptune just entered Aries at 0 degrees, the Fool card in the Tarot, after wrapping up a long stay in the 8th. And this is the degree of new beginnings, 0 degrees, on March 31st as well. There is a beautiful new moon solar eclipse at 9 degrees, trining your sun, moon, or ascendant, felt most for Leos from 4 to 14 degrees. And the portal of energy remains with you 6 to 8 weeks before. And after the eclipse, it's felt the strongest. We're in the thick of it right now still. And the energy culminates within 6 months by the time of the Aries full moon, October 6th at 14 degrees. This powerful eclipse was in a wide sextile with the planet of transformation Pluto in Aquarius from your 7th house of serious partners in love or business, contracts, and public appeal to an extent. It's also a house of the marketplace. There can be bright new beginnings around higher education matters, attaining degrees, philosophy, publishing, broadcasting, finding a guru or a teacher, long-distance travel, travel to foreign countries, because the depositor of this eclipse is Mars, and Mars is in the 12th house. There can be a deep interest in learning foreign language, learning spirituality. There could be foreign business opportunities here too. Let's see, or the ability to pool resources for publishing a book, a creative project that you're trying to develop. Maybe it's Neptunian in nature, like developing a fantasy film. And this, when I say that, this doesn't have to be like a big picture Hollywood type of movie. You can develop something with your iPhone even, or via YouTube video editing programs, just to give a few examples. If you have a business or work with the unseen world, like the tarot, astrology, this could be a good time to develop foreign clientele and rapidly build a base of following with the solar eclipse in the 9th, but the depositor in the 12th. Plus, the 8th house of shared money, money that comes in through other people, is highlighted at the time of the eclipse, with its ruler Neptune newly entering this 9th house at 0 degrees. Saturn will join Neptune in the 9th by the end of May, indicating a new role in life, new responsibilities that come with the 9th house area of long-distance lands, a foreign language, foreign travel. Maybe you are becoming the guru, the teacher, having a business or beginning one around a spiritual practice, teaching. Maybe you're teaching something creative as a business, theater, to young people, or you're becoming a student and then a teacher in a place different than your birthplace. Saturn is the teacher. Don't worry, Leo. I think you'll be ready for it. All the prep work was happening while Neptune and Saturn were transiting the 8th house of death and transformation, rebirth and magic and the occult. And the 8th house also covers shared money, taxes, inheritance. Inheritance can also be like inheriting the intangible, like spiritual gifts from our ancestors, for example. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. And while you were doing some kind of hard work or transformation, because you definitely were with Saturn sitting in that 8th house, or even working through or healing trauma or some kind of wounding that can be in the 8th house, you're coming out, being reborn of that period. And now you may be able to help others with the knowledge that was attained while you were dealing with, Saturn moving through that 8th house. You can click the link in the description box below to listen to my eclipse horoscope that goes into more detail about this. I'll link it down there. April 8th through the 30th, Mercury goes direct in Pisces at 26 degrees, showing a slow but now forward momentum in 8th house matters, where there could be like some talk going on with a significant other, and it could be about resources. But you can also see action with the 2nd house of banking and finance in your 11th house of social networks, internet, and popularity, as Mercury rules those houses as well. Don't sign any contracts right now. If you can, I would wait until Mercury is out of shadow. When planets go direct or they station direct, sometimes there's some room for mischievousness to happen because they're very sleepy and groggy. They haven't had their cup of coffee yet, so they need a little bit of time to be like back to full strength. So don't sign any. Wait till Mercury's out of shadow by April 26th. Uranus is in Taurus in the 10th house, sextiling the stellium in Pisces in the 8th. In the 8th you have a lot right there right now. You have Venus, the North Node, Saturn, Neptune, and Mercury. Neptune moved into Aries in the ninth at 0 degrees, but it's still conjuncting, all of these late degree Pisces planets and points. You can be receiving like downloads or massive rapid healing if there were any 8th house wounds there, if there had been any blockages. The healing is happening now. You could have fated new beginnings and shared resources or intimate healing with a partner, especially if you and a partner had gone through a dry spell, no pun intended, with Saturn sitting in the 8th house of deep intimacy. It could be a new way in handling your taxes, but now you have Rahu here through the 8th house, which can show like sudden, rapid progress. There could also be a sudden fated career change, healing with a father figure or a prominent leader, giving you an opportunity for a new career. You can meet a powerful person to partner with in love or business. With the ruler of the 7th, Uranus, in the 10th of career, and making a sextile to this pile of planets over there in the 8th. So that's why I'm mentioning career matters. Could revolve around investments or investing in a business together where your resources would be shared. Or it could be a workplace romance or meeting someone through work or while traveling for work. And they could be foreign in nature with Rahu and Saturn involved. Saturn would indicate maybe a past life. Let's see, Saturn also rules your 7th house and then heading over into that 9th of foreign places and lands. So you could also meet a fated partner while traveling. April 12th, the full moon in Libra at 23 degrees will happen in your 3rd house of communication, writing projects, speaking, podcasting, marketing, small business, handcrafts. It's where the 3rd house represents our hands. It's naturally a Gemini house. Gemini rules the hands. Siblings, cousins, neighborhood, vehicles, local travel, like places you can drive to, one state to another state, for example. Early education, that could be elementary, middle school, high school, social media. And this full moon trines Jupiter and Gemini in that lucky 11th house, affecting Leo's most from 19 to 28 degrees. Let's see. There's an inconjunct with Uranus and then the stellium in Pisces, and then Chiron will oppose this moon exact from the 9th house of belief systems, religion, higher education, publishing, legal settlements, doctors, lawyers, and long distance travel. Okay, you've been focusing on this Pisces 8th house and your Aries 9th, especially having that solar eclipse at the beginning of the month, but now your day-to-day thoughts, issues around beliefs, truths, or secrets being revealed are taking up your attention. It could have to do with a close partner because the moon reveals, and the moon rules Cancer, which is the 12th house of hidden things, undoing behaviors, subconscious patterning, long-distance shores, and then Mars is there opposing your 7th house containing Pluto. This could come through a message, email, social media. We also have another secretive house involved here, the Pisces 8th, where your other 7th house ruler is sitting, Saturn. If this doesn't have to do with a partner, it doesn't have to be that. It could just be like a sibling, a close childhood friend that could be dealing with these issues and you're holding space for them. Because I don't think this full moon is really that bad for you or even bad at all, because Libra sextiles your sun, moon, or ascendant, and Chiron in Aries makes a trine to you. And then Jupiter in that 11th is also sextiling your sun, moon, or ascendant as well from the lucky 11th house. So it could even be like good luck happening at the time for you of this full moon. It could be something that you are completing that you can reach a broader stage with or a bigger public audience and receive recognition or fame for. Jupiter is in a fame house and in a writing communication sign, Gemini. So maybe there's something that you've written, a paper that you published, a book, podcast series, maybe you've developed like an app. Mercury rules your 2nd house. So this could be a money opportunity or something that you've completed, bringing in big gains for you because Venus rules this full moon and Venus represents money. And she's sitting in that 8th house which is another money house. So it's money that we receive from others. It could be like sales from a book. This Chiron moon can be healed with whatever is happening. Oh, excuse me, Leo. In that 3rd house, that's coming to culmination. Maybe it looks like, as an example, that something you've worked on or a small business that you've worked on is gaining traction and recognition and reaching broader audiences, healing a belief around how you identify yourself or how you view yourself can be gaining a boost now in self-esteem and healing that wounding. And this could be through the help of friends or a teacher as well, with Jupiter in that 11th house. On April 13th, Venus goes direct in Pisces at 24 degrees. Venus is exalted here in Pisces, and you can start to gain momentum in creative projects, anything that requires private research or detective work or mysteries. Intimacy matters can move forward and be healed. You could be spending a lot of time alone in seclusion with a partner. Venus here in the 8th. There could be hidden love happening here, somebody that you met through at work, because we have Uranus in the house of career, sextiling Venus in the 8th, and Uranus in Taurus it's ruled by Venus. So the hidden element, especially because of Neptune, as well. Neptune's over in that 8th. So this could be like a very spiritual love as well, or you and a partner are reaching higher levels of intimacy through this time alone. It won't be an average type of love affair because you have Rahu here also. So it could show, moving on from that, it could also show a line of unique or unconventional work that you could be earning good money from with Venus exalted in the 8th. Maybe it's like an astrology business or something Venusian, like women's products, perfume, skincare lines. Maybe you're not quite ready to show this or bring this out yet. You're still working on it in a hidden house. Earth-based products, maybe with a Uranus twist, like mushroom skincare line, as an example. Venus rules your 3rd and your 10th house, so you can also start to see progress in your day-to-day communications, travels, thoughts, and matters in career and reputation. Also, Venus is moving into a trine with her lover Mars, sitting over in your 8th house of deep intimacy and soul bonding experiences with another. And Mars is over in the 12th of hidden things and bed pleasures. So plain and simple, again, there could be some love going on behind the scenes, Leo. Plain and simple. This could be a hidden love affair. One with someone who is foreign or taboo for whatever reason. I hope it's nothing that would... I hope if your partner that isn't the case, because you don't want that karma involved of hurting another, If you happen to be in love with someone else, do things the right way, please, just for your own karma and benefit. So hopefully it's not that, but it could be you and another renewing your relationship by taking time away through travel or a weekend Airbnb where you'll have time to relax away from prying eyes. Maybe it's even a place with like a hot tub, since Mars and Venus are in 2 water signs initially. It could be a past life love too, with Pisces and that 12th house of past lives involved. This is really big energy because as Venus and Mars race together in the sky, they'll be talking to each other from your 8th house to your 12th, and then they'll shift into your Aries 9th house and your Leo 1st house. This is very nice. This could be a love and money story here for sure with Venus in the house of long distance travel. You could have a sudden opportunity to come up to travel, and it would be really enjoyable with Venus there. And then in doing so, you meet the love of your life. Or this could be a higher education opportunity if it's not anything to do with like love and partnership, etc. And it could be like an opportunity around publishing or broadcasting opportunity that can also bring in money for you, or even a legal settlement if you had been dealing with something like that. But all in all, it's really nice. You'll have to let me know how this goes. This energy is with us all the way until the first week of June, so enjoy that. These are just a few ways this can play out. You'll have to let me know, Leo. April 19th through June 18th, Mars is fully awake, ready to rip and roar as he goes into your sign, leaving the 12th house, where I think you're going to feel relieved. It's been a lot of time due to the retrograde and is moving to that first where he can loosen the watery restraints of being in Cancer. So it's going to be relief and momentum. You are going to feel more energized and ready to rip and roar, no pun intended. You'll be having more fun expressing yourself, feeling lighter, happier, less heavy. You could be being active with children, energetic overall, sports, building a creative business. You could be more focused on yourself, expressing yourself, your physical fitness. Maybe you want to do some beauty treatments for your hair, color it, cut it, highlight it. Mars also rules your 4th house of home, family, mother. family patterns, property, land, and children, and also your ninth of all of those topics that I've already mentioned. So the next 2 months are a great time to move forward with money-making ideas tied to self-expression and creativity and building security. You could also be doing something creative, artistic, theater, acting as a vehicle to make money as well. Last but not least, you're going to be very magnetic with Mars here in your sign, drawing suitors to like moth to a flame. April 20th through May 20th, the Sun, your ruler, moves into Taurus, your 10th house, highlighting career recognition, fame, becoming more popular, gaining recognition for something you accomplish in the 10th house area of career, or simply going viral online, maybe for a video, for example. Maybe you do makeup tutorials or some other Venus-ruled activity, and it has overnight success. You could feel lighter, happier, ready to plant a seed for a dream. You could be building up your career and be more driven for recognition and success now, Leo. On April 27th, this is where we come into like a little bit of a crunchy place, but you've probably been feeling the energy a bit throughout the month of April. The new moon in Taurus at 7 degrees happens in your 10th house, and you'll notice it most from 4 to 12 degrees. If you're a Leo sun, moon, or rising that's in the middle of the sign or even late degrees, you're probably not going to feel this energy that I'm about to mention as much. Okay, so you could be looking at new beginnings around 10th house matters. Venus is the depositor of your 10th, and Venus also rules your 3rd. So you could be receiving positive career news, messages, communications around new opportunities. However, this moon is being squared by Mars and Leo from your first house, and Pluto and Aquarius from your 7th of partnership, as well as Neptune. And then Mars in your 1st and Pluto over in your 7th are exactly opposite each other at this time. And this is the last of the opposition. This energy is nothing new, by the way, since we have felt this since last November, and then we got another hit of it in January, and now we're having it again, so it moves on. This has happened twice, so it could be highlighting, a power struggle between you and a serious partner in business or love. Could have to do with a new opportunity that may be coming up for you, and a partner is having a hard time with that. Maybe you have to travel, or you will be at a very long distance for a while due to an opportunity, because Saturn rules your work house and it's going into the 9th of foreign shores. Mars rules your 9th of legal contracts and is in your 1st house. So you could be cutting away from a partner if there had been irreconcilable differences that couldn't be healed. I just have to say what I see, but if I'm saying this, I don't think it's coming as a surprise to you. It's probably already been an issue. Alternatively, if this isn't you and a partner in love, it can be a separation with like a business partner, or you can have this last culmination around intimate matters with a partner to finally resolve whatever issue or power struggle has been the source of contention between you and another, and finding maybe finally a balance and transformation after a long period of difficulty. We will always experience this Mars-Pluto opposition as long as Pluto is in Aquarius and anytime Mars moves through your 1st house. It won't happen again, I don't think, until 2026, I think. I'd have to check. But the idea is, though, that we know how to deal with it when the energy comes up again. Remember that Mars is moving quickly. Mars is happier in your 1st house. So use that energy in good ways that I've mentioned before. And remember, hard times don't last for long, Leo. This will move quickly. Per aspera ad astra, through hardships to the stars. We'll see you in May.